everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Knockout from Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. We've got a group of crazy games and fun characters here for you for a knockout competition between international teams of celebrities from Great Britain, Australia and America. And it's all for charity. Everyone involved with the show has donated their services, sponsorships of the games, and all the money raised by the program and its sales around the world will be given to children in need. First up, I'd like to introduce my fellow presenters, and coming in from the United States, here is Bill Rafferty. How are you, Bill?
I'm fine, Billy. Welcome.
Looking forward to this?
Absolutely.
And you've got a good team there?
I think we have an excellent team, led, of course, by the irrepressible Meatloaf.
Oh, yes, he's going to be a lot of fun, I can tell. And it's great to have him on the show, too. I feel so good. Coming in from the BBC in London, a man who knows what knockout is all about, Stuart Hall. How are you, Stuart?
Great to see you. Great to see you.
No, I think on this occasion, well, I couldn't let the occasion go by without having a bit of a bet with you. Australia to beat England, $10. 10 American dollars, that'll get half of England.
On behalf of the Whinging Palms, I bet we slay you, and there's $10 on it.
All right. Okay, fellas, look forward to a great competition. Now let's meet our teams and take in the magic of the Main Street Parade. Not only will we meet the many popular Disney characters, but coming up as competitors on the show, Gil Gerard, who plays Buck Rogers, Richard Roundtree, better known as Shaft, Eddie the Eagle, England's non-winning ski jumper, the rock group Fat Boys, former Wimbledon tennis champ Yvonne Corley, ex-boxer Joe Bugner, that huge pop star Meatloaf, Australian actress Chantal Funtori, all-round Aussie showman Ron Paris, from the TV series fame, Gene Anthony Ray, and our referee, former star of the Harlem Globetrotters, Curly Neal. To explore the many countries of the world would take a lifetime and a bottomless bank balance. But in the Epcot Centre World Showcase, the dream comes true. Grouped round the World Showcase Lagoon, the size of 85 football fields, are international pavilions. Visit the land of fjords, mountains and midnight sun. That's Norway. The Medina and bazaars of Morocco. The Eiffel Tower and bistros of Paris. You can visit Germany, China, Mexico and Japan. Encapsulate 11 countries with authentic sights, sounds and cuisine. Right down to the traditional fish and chips, served on a newspaper with some salt and vinegar thrown in. It's here at the British Pavilion and the Rose and Crown pub. Actually, it makes the ideal setting for our next game.
The competition begins with the Vauxhall Motors Sedan Chair Race, beginning in Regency Square. Our three teams are colour-coded: red for Britain, blue for America, yellow for Australia. The footmen negotiate the chairs impeded by this enormous feat. The lady will sit in it. The three girls emerge from their elegant houses, insert their bodies and bodices in the chair. The Australians already down. But meanwhile, the Brits have headed off down the street, leaving the Australians and the Americans stranded. Here's David Gower in front, Eddie the Eagle behind, Jenny Aguilar in the chair. At last, the Americans on the move, the Australians getting it together. But outside the shop, our chair arrives. David and Eddie drop it down. Jenny Aguilar gets out. She left the Australians down again. We rush into the elegant shop, pick up the Christmas present, pop it in the sedan chair, and we hail off down the street now for a slapstick finish. And now we come to the third element, because in the stocks are the three of us. Here we are, waiting to be pelted with rotten fruit. They've got to hit us in the face. Jenny, in the face. That's in the chest. Come on. Oh, come on. Jenny, in the face. Go.
In the face.
Go in the face. We got one in the face. Yes, there it is.
There's Gil Gerard putting Carrie in the chair.
So,
and off they go.
They go back in the chair, and it's a better race now. Come on. Britain on the outside. Australia on the inside. It could be Britain. Britain, David Gower, Eddie the Eagle. And it could be Britain. It could be Australia.
I think Australia's going to claim victory immediately.
An exhausted David Gower, but here's Curly Neal.
I think it was a tie between Great Britain and Australia, and USA came in the rear.
Yes, the free frame shows it all. Definitely a tie. So at the end of event number one, the points read as follows. We see England up there with 3 big points for them. Australia has 3 points also, so a nice start. The United States, well, they're away with 1 point. To give us details of event number 2, once again, here's Bill Rafferty.
When you're as big a star as Mickey Mouse and you turn 60, you get to have your own place. It's called Mickey's Birthday Land. Now, this is a place in the Magic Kingdom where children, young and old, can attend a surprise birthday party for Mickey every day. And what better way to celebrate than serving a few pies? You'll see what I mean. It's party time. The ingredients for this party are some whipped cream pies, a giant slide, and some very enthusiastic competitors. The rules are simple. Just catch a pie, and you'll win a point. That's Great Britain leading off. Let's take one more look at the Olympic pie-catching form of Eddie the Eagle. And when it comes to form, the United States has its own unique style. Britain caught 5 pies in their heat. Could we beat that? You bet we can. 8 pies. That means Australia needs a near-perfect score. But when the party horn signaled the finish, the U.S. had held on for the win. The team standings after 2 events had Australia in the lead with 5 points, and the U.S. and Great Britain tied for second with 4 points each.
As we leave civilization, we enter the mighty Amazon of South America. Watch it, weird things happen here.
They certainly do. Welcome aboard the Jungle Cruise and Adventureland. In just 10 minutes, we explore darkest Africa, the dense Amazon, tangle with wild animals and headhunters, and discover a lost continent.
We're on our way to Caribbean Plaza to meet a crew of swashbucklers who would shiver the timbers of Bluebeard himself. They're returning for the life of plunder and looting and pillage to count their ill-gotten gains. Away there, be hearted! Game 3, the Delta Airlines treasure trove. The ill-gotten gains are gold coins. The cannon starts. But the loot has to be shared. 3 giant pirates are famous knockout costumes. Blue stripes, USA. Red, Britain. Yellow, Australia. Their treasure chests are loaded by pirates of the same team. And watch the game unfold.
Looks like Gene Anthony Ray for the United States, first to hit the bridge after he's been loaded up by fat boy Mark Morales.
Coming up for Australia, the man underneath there is Joey Bugner, and he's doing a pretty good job in second spot at the moment. Joey Brony's loading up.
Well, there's the Americans and there's the game. There you see the characters, but here comes Joe Bugner. He's got to load up the coins now on that table to his own character, who is Peter Pan. Next to him is Mr. Smee for America, and we have Captain Hook. Back to the far end, there's Mark Morales, the fat boy, loading up the gold coins. And the tactics are as many gold coins as you can carry.
What's happening to England, Stuart?
Well, David Gower is taking it very cautiously, taking no chances. He wants all the coins at the other end.
Billy, I think you should mention that Joe Bugner is wearing his own shoes for this event.
Oh, he's down. Your man's down.
Is down. Mark Morales, the fat boy, running to his assistance.
And that, of course, gives Big Joey Bugner a chance to slip through here now and catch up a little bit of time.
It gives you an idea of the size of the costumes if Joe Bugner can slip through anything.
I think that at the moment, you can count the piles of coins yourselves. Now, who's in the lead? On the left is Captain Hook. In the middle is Mr. Smee. On the right-hand side, Peter Pan for Australia. Now, it looks to me, Billy J, as if you're in the lead.
Yes, I think Joey came through with quite a haul that time round, and here's David Gower on his way back trying to improve his total a little bit.
Now, this could count. If this run does count, if he doesn't spill any gold coins, he's got to stay upright. The technique of using this giant costume, you've got to stay upright. You can see coins just slipping out gradually. Every step a coin is going. The game is the greatest number of coins at the end of limit time, and he's being all together by your man.
Time's up, so this lot won't count for Joe Bugner.
The cannon fires, the end of the game.
So before he adjudicates, let our famous international referee display his basketball skills.
The one and only Curly Neal of the famous Harlem Globetrotters. It's wonderful to have you aboard, Curly. And I know you're going to enjoy this event. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But now, let's count the gold coins. First of all, with Peter Pan, it's Australia. How many?
Australia, 64 points.
64. Coming down to Mr. Smee, who's in ecstasy for the United States of America. How many gold coins?
64 coins for USA.
And finally, Captain Hook. And Great Britain is
61 for Great Britain.
61 for Great Britain.
The big fella Joe Bugner looking content with his performance. 64 gold coins, exactly the same as registered by the United States. So at the end of event number 3, the totals read out as follows. We see Australia coming along quite nicely on 8 points, the United States there on 7, and Great Britain are on 5. And Bill, Stuart's not so cocky now.
Yeah, I know. All right, Billy. Yes, I'm on my way. Tell Stuart I'm coming. All right, hey. I've just been told that all is ready for the start of game number 4, where our international contestants are going to be pitted against some very large and very hungry crocodiles.
Well, water means fun and frolic. Believe you me, here in Florida, they've got oceans of it. Bottled and Goofy is skimming along the waters of the Seven Seas Lagoon. So a man-made lake that took nearly 3 years to excavate, covers nearly 200 acres, provides a home for America's largest fleet of pleasure craft. But in Florida, there's another good reason to keep on top of the water. Alligators. There's over 1 million of them, some over 12 feet long. But they're just nothing compared to the Crocodile Dundee type that could cause terror in our next game.
Well, the man-eating crocodiles lurking in the reeds are the good news. The bad news is that the three of us, Billy J and Bill and myself, are part of the shipwreck cruise for each of our countries. Will we survive, boys?
No. There's the first of the Australians going off, and it's going to be Rolf Harris and Yvonne Goolagong leading off in the first of the rafts. That'll be followed by Chantal Conturi and Joey Peroni, and then I'll head off with Dina Panozza. So I'll leave you to it, fellas.
Good luck.
Good race, Billy.
And, of course, the United States go second, and the Brits are coming third. But there's a crocodile, the man-eating crocodile. He feeds on flesh. Will it catch Rolf Harris?
Interesting how they've got their style down now with Rolf Harris and Yvonne, because they're moving very, very nicely. They've got themselves seated right in the center of the raft. There was a big problem with that in the run-throughs.
Well, Meaty is going for you in the United States, by the way, Bill, and he was thinking of lying down, but Meaty on a raft lying down is a sight not for sore eyes.
People wanted to claim it as a country. I think you're going to get...
There are 2 crocodiles per raft, but then the tactics are coming in.
Here they come. Let's see what happens now. How are they going to get rid of these?
They're going to head off now. They're going to head off that raft. Did they make a block?
Bear in mind that all 3 contestants have to get to the raft, all 3 teams, within 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so there's time being used up here.
That's
now
right.
Here comes the second team.
The second team are coming out, and another 2 crocodiles will come out of the reeds. We have 6 crocodiles in all, 2 per team.
Yes. So this is Chantal Conturi and Joey Peroni. Chantal being an actress, of course, and Joey is a singer, I believe.
That's right. In Los Angeles as well, of course.
Yes.
Big in the States. Now, will the Crocs catch up with Chantal and Joey Peroni? I'm waiting for my colleague here, Billy J. Smith, because throughout the competition, we've been having a bit of needle. We don't mind if you win the competition at all, Bill, for the USA. It's Australia. And over goes! They've gone over. Yvonne and Rolf
I've just gone in. But, oh, look at this. Now the second attack is taking place against Chantal and Joey.
And it's early.
They're moving on. They're trying to move around.
But meanwhile, wait for this now. This is Billy J. Smith, and he really has been aggressive.
Uh-oh. The Aussie fire plug is now on the raft, moving along.
He's
a little low in the water, don't you think?
He really is the typical aggressive Aussie, is Billy J. Smith. Of course, he's been doing... He's over! He's over! He's over! He can tip himself over. He's been doing knockout, of course, for 3 years in Australia. There he goes! Wonderful! No for Australia.
That's the first water bill he's had in a long time.
Do you know that we went first, which means that the crocodiles are going to get very, very tired by they get to the Americans? Are they the third?
Oh, no, they're not, because we have different guys, you see, in each
Do they
costume.
change?
Yes,
They're very, very handsome. I actually saw them inside the mouth. I'm going out with one tonight.
Look, you have 9 out of 10 for artistic impression. Meanwhile, back at Billy J. Smith, who has been blabbermouthing his way around Walt Disney World Resort for the last 5 days.
Well,
a little $10 bet on this one, Billy.
Well, that was only just a slight mishap there, Stuart. The one thing, of course, is that you've got to get out and do it. There's no secret to it, I can tell you that. Yeah. Go to it.
All right, here we go with the United States team. That's Sarah Douglas and Jean Anthony Ray.
Now look at the tactics here. Every time Sarah Douglas puts the paddle in, she's a bang ahead. And they're lying down. These are tactics devised by the crafty Meatloaf, who is the American captain. Will they get to the rescue craft before the crocodiles get to them? They can fend them off. Will they succeed? She's banging the crocs.
And the next heat is underway. Now, this should be really something spectacular. It's Terry and Lynn and your old pal there, Meatloaf. Meaty was the star of the Royal Knockout last year. He's the villain of the piece, and he's devised this special way, Billy J., of rowing prone.
Yes, he's got everything moving at this stage, and there's a fair bit to move. Those crocodiles are starting to move in now.
Story goes that in 1951 he got his head run over by a Volkswagen, and that's why they called him Meaty's brain. So, he's made it. Meaty's going to make it. He's there.
Yes, they're all right.
They're aboard. Terry Ann Lynn's in, and so is Meaty, but getting in the boat is another kettle of fish. He's stranded like a big whale. Goofy helps him, and the Americans have got one. One aboard, 1 out of 2, and the third pair go. It's our own Billy Rafferty and Carrie Mitchum. a little bit nervous at the start of things, but when he saw what a fool me, we made of each other. He's decided he'll be in it too. You see, they're both lying down because Meaty has been sussing it out. He's sussed out every game. You can't beat it. Well, he's out there urging his teammates on, and they're making good progress at the moment. They're just about out there at the life raft. Oh, they're home without any trouble whatsoever. Well, it could be the way to play it. Meaty could be right. He's clever, you know, as well as being a great artist. But what a villain. What a lovely man.
Meade was the man. You devised the strategy, am I right?
Well, yes. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. I devised it for our team because she outweighed me. So, I mean, it's like... So I had to give, you know, we had to get some balance in there.
I think she actually put some sand in her pocket so that this thing could be... So, I mean, it worked for us. I know Carrie was paddling.
Yeah. Well, that's only because he was going, stroke!
Yeah, it was the key. Stroke together.
Yeah, and you guys got very close.
Well, we
set the pace.
We set the pace.
We set the pace with these
You know what?
guys.
You should have got off the raft and climbed over the gator under the boat. That was it.
Great.
No, see, that's
Okay, I've got to go to work. I got to get ready for the third heat. Good job, USA!
And we're off and running now. Annabelle Croft and Eddie Edwards. Eddie the Eagle, who is big in America, and Annabelle Croft, of course, one of our great tennis stars, a strong pair. They decided to go for the lying down. Meaty's shown them the way to go. Rowing with one hand. What about it, Bill?
It worked for us. It was the way to go. You can see you get a lot more control on the boat with this.
And the Crofts are getting tired, too. I might point that out. Oh, no, they're not. They're changed for each game.
That's a bit of a problem.
Oh, yes, they are. Well, I'm off to run anyway.
All right.
Good luck.
Stuart's going to compete in this round.
Well, we saw Eddie the Eagle there. He did a lot of practice out there earlier today, Bill, and he's a real competitor, and he's done it pretty well. So they're home, Annabelle Croft and Eddie Edwards home, and next up we have Toya setting out with David Gower.
The cricket man.
Yeah, well, he'll be looking to get a few runs on the board here, and they've got a flying start out there, too. They've been miles out into the water.
There they go, and here come the Crocs. So, now they've got the same thing. Everybody's going for the meatloaf style.
The meatloaf style, yes. It's obviously...
Add some ketchup and 2 pieces of bread, and you got a winner.
And they're going at 100 miles an hour. The Crocs coming at them, but I think they're going to be a bit too fast for them here again.
Yes, no, it's just a matter of those people not falling off.
Oh, no, there's no chance of that. They're on home, so it's 2 out of 2 so far for Great Britain. Here's the final one. They can go to the lead here.
They're not. I think I'm going to go in myself.
Well, they haven't got much to beat from our point of view.
Stop the Crocodile. Stop the Crocodile.
Righto, it's Stuart Hall going out there and coming up with his Jenny Agata. And,
now look at this. This is kind of like English riding in the park.
It looks very much so. Stuart's doing it side saddle.
Yes. I think Stuart thinks he's heading to the courtesy bar at the Floridian right now. I'm supposed to be impartial, but I want to see the Crocs get him.
Well, that'll level it up for the Americans and the Great Britain team.
Oh, they're getting close.
They're getting close, but they've got to get into that. They've got to get in there yet.
There he goes. He's going.
I think he's going to make it.
And they've made it. Oh, good for Stuart.
So good work for Great Britain. They've got 3 teams home there. They've nudged you out, Bill. Don't like the sound of it.
It looks like you're right, Billy. The Brits get first place on this one, but one of the referees is talking to Curly. Let's find out what's going on.
Well, there we are, Curly. We are the champions, I think, but how do you score it?
Well, at the end of the Crocodile run, Great Britain 3, USA 3, Australia 1.
What?
Yes.
What do we won it? We won it. Britain won it.
Britain had the fastest time.
Yeah.
USA, you were disqualified in the last heat, the third heat.
You mean
so
me and Jay were
heat.
disqualified?
You were disqualified.
What for?
Well, you normally get 3 seconds, so you went 5 seconds. You were 2 seconds over, so dead heat, Great Britain, USA, 3.
Annabelle.
A fine example of American justice, ladies and gentlemen.
As you can see, amid the cries of outrage, the U.S. is inched ahead of Great Britain and Australia at the halfway mark of this competition.
Well, if you've ever been to Venice, you'll know just what it's like to stand in the shadows of the breathtaking Bell Tower or Campanile of St. Mark's Square. Italy, right here in the World Showcase, definitely has them all. The Doge's Palace, the Lion of St. Mark's, Neptune's Fountain. They're all here, faithful, exact replicas of the originals, if somewhat scaled down.
And the pigeons of St. Mark's Square, they have those too. Some the original size, and some definitely not. And just like the real thing, they can become one heck of a nuisance in our next game.
It's game number 5, the Waiter's Waltz. 3 gigantic waiters delivering wine.
And we're away in the Piazza San Marco. The 3 waiters now coming down to their tables, and our man is first. Our British waiter in the costume is Bernie Clifton. Watch the action.
All right, we've got Meatloaf in the blue coming to the table right now.
And for Australia, we've got George Lazenby in there, and these boys have the really tough job, don't
Oh, Meatloaf is down. Gil Gerard, the waiter who gives him his bottles, can come over and assist him to get him up. I think we're going to get the crane, and up comes the Meatloaf. Well, maybe not.
Oh, no, he doesn't. The idea of a game, of course, you'd have got it, is the waiters here from across the Piazza San Marco have to pick up the champagne, deliver it to our little tourist,
right.
who, would you believe, sitting there now with 2 bottles is the world welterweight champion Lloyd Hannigan.
Meatloaf seems to be going in a bit of a circle.
And meaty will be hot in there, I tell you. It's about 85 Fahrenheit in the Italian showcase. But there's Bernie Clifton, our waiter. He's met by David Garr, pops the bottle of champagne back on, and they have to negotiate now in those enormous boots, which ain't easy, I'll tell you. Now then, look at this. Look, way, that's Richard Roundtree shaft trying to trip up our waiter. That is foul play indeed, but Lloyd stretches out his hand.
All right, here comes Meatloaf back right now, trying to make an attempt to deliver a bottle. And I think he may be successful. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. All right, the ass. The U.S. has a point. Bit of a rear attack on Rolf Harris by the part of Meatloaf.
If you're wondering where the pigeons are, they're asleep in the loft.
Oh, there he goes. Gil Gerard coming to the rescue for the States. It's Meatloaf.
I think Meatloaf's been consuming the contents of the bottle rather than anything else.
There he goes. Well, even Richard Roundtree is trying to get him up. Both of these guys are big guys trying to move this Hulk up. It's really amazing.
Got a great battle going on here between Great Britain and Australia. They're pretty much level out there at the moment.
And now here come the pigeons. They will create havoc. There are 6 girls in the costume, 2 from each country, and their job is to impede the progress of the opposition. But they can't see very well, so they could possibly impede their own waiter. I can detect a little cheating going on here. If you look carefully, one of the pigeons' heads come off already. And I could spot in the background Gil Gerard of America, alias Buck Rogers, coming down now, doing a bit of cheating. He's pinched a bottle from David Garr, I'm sure about that, and he's running to give it to his teammate. David Garr goes back and replaces another bottle with Bernie Clifton, but it's absolute chaos. Don't ask me to count how many bottles each contestant has, but there's the whistle. I'm sure that Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard, was cheating. But then, maybe so with David Garr. And Rolf Harris looks disconsolately at the number of bottles he's got.
Meaty, what a great guy, what a great guy. It was very hot in there, wasn't it, old chum, eh? Would you like a glass of Perrier water? A little champagne?
Just found me at a loss of words, didn't you?
For the first time in his life.
Gil Gerard working with Meatloaf, putting the bottles on the tray.
Absolutely.
And also spent about a half hour trying to pick the loaf up.
This is true, yes. We dropped our loaf a few times.
I thought if you stayed on this table much longer, both of you are going to get your own series on the Disney
It was
Channel.
interesting, yes. Yes, but
Stole my bottle!
No, the Brits stole ours, by God.
There was a little
Friendly
bit of
competition here.
There was a little bit of tripping and things going on at the end of this.
Well, the bloody Poms stole our bottles. That's what they did.
Well, let's talk first up with George Lazenby, the man who was right in the middle of it. Pretty warm weather in there.
Oh, you don't need a sauna when you got one of those suits. Apart from that, you know, it's the most fun I've ever had cheating. I mean, we weren't cheating, being cheated out of a game.
Rolf, you had a battle on your hands up at that table.
Yeah, we got 6, but of course one of them was passed over by Joey, who ran the full length and passed me one, so we had to get rid of that one.
So let's have a look once again at the big fella, Meatloaf, and his ultimate demise. Up and down he goes. So as we move out of event number 5, it's Australia out in front on 12, the United States and Great Britain on 11. Back with... Well, our next game is one that's played above the water, but I thought I'd do the right thing, the gentlemanly thing, and send our friend from England down under the water with his sharks to tell you more about it.
Well, over 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. But it's only recently that man has begun to recognize the mysteries that lie beneath the deep. And here in the Living Seas Aquarium, it's the largest in the world. Nearly 6 million gallons of seawater. It's 30 feet deep, and it recreates faithfully the ecology and the chemistry of a living reef. It's the largest facility ever dedicated to the study of man's relationship with the undersea world. And it's an amazing experience because with me we've got 75 different species of fish, nearly 6,000 of them, and they include dolphins, turtles, swordfish, grouper, and a shoal of sharks. And here's the only aquatic mouse in the world feeding the fish. It's Mickey Mouse. Hi, Mickey. And we're gonna feed the fish. Let's feed a fish, shall we? But who knows what mysteries the seas contain in other alien planets.
Game 6 space shot, and from the murky depths of the ocean, this enormous sea monster that gorges itself on humans, but being Disney World and charmed by the pleasure that abounds, the monster provides an escape for the two boys and the girl fleeing from an army of alien pursuers. But one alien, more fearsome, and with a mega brain, is armed with water cannon and will attempt to foil the escape.
Thanks, Stuart. Well, we've got Joey Peroni. I thought Rolf Harris might have, but this is tactics coming into it. Put in Joey Peroni first up. He's pretty light, as you can see, but he's hanging on for grim death, and working away at him with that water cannon over there is Gene Anthony Ray, who's putting in plenty of work, but Joey's home. He's hanging on the side. He's gone.
And the essential rule is you have to stick on that saddle just under the monster's head. Here's Rolf Harris, and he's essaying it rather slowly. What about that for a face? Ah!
Meanwhile, back with Rolf. I think he needs the windscreen wipers on those glasses.
I think he just enjoys the friction myself.
Have you ever seen Bill anyone enjoying themselves as much as that?
It's a big slide.
Here's a big slide. Is he going to be there?
Well, Rolf has inched his way to glory. Here's Chantal Cantori. She is very famous, and she's starring in a mega movie, and it's
one called Goodbye, Miss 4th of July.
And it may be Goodbye, Chantal.
It's time up, that's for sure. So it looks like at this stage we've got one home, and a good effort there by Rolf Harris for Australia. All right, team, well done. We've got one up there, and how about this? I hate to say it, but, you know, the old bloke did the job.
He did a great job. Fantastic. It was that in bit of that dragon.
Go slow, and we ran out of time.
Who were you talking to and said go slow, go slow?
I didn't say go slow. I never got away.
I was saying go slow because that end bit is a killer.
All right, well, we've got one up there. The others got to beat it. Do you think they can do it?
Well,
no, definitely not. No, we've got the knack of it.
We're the fittest
Definitely.
of the lot.
Well, somebody's got the knack of it somewhere, I think. All right, well done. One on the board for the Aussies.
And now it's America.
All right, so we've got Gil Gerard again starting things off, moving across the back of the Serpent.
Here is, of course, Buck Rogers. There's Eddie the Eagle Edwards on the water cannon, and you can see the detail of the game. He inches his way up, hanging on to the moulding on the side of the Serpent. And the mood is swiftly up and gently down. Will he make it?
I think he's going to do it.
The moment of truth now, Bill.
And there he is. Hold on. All right.
And now, Carrie Mitchum, granddaughter of the famous Robert, an actress in her own right,
and there we go. 2 points for the U.S. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, as the Serpent groans, the Meatloaf makes his way across it.
I don't know whether it means anything, but as soon as Meatloaf... Oh, he's gone! He's gone! The big one's
He'll be furious at that because he is an intense competitor, isn't he? A villain.
Of all the people, I thought he would be the one. I think he's going to get Eddie, ladies and gentlemen. I think Eddie is, and Sarah is working on Eddie at the moment. Another example of American sportsmanship in play. And not a man to carry a grudge. All right, here we are with the American team. Just scored 2 points on the back of the Serpent. Let's start things out with Gil. Gil, you really had a hard time getting across there.
Well, I was just trying to make sure I got there this time. I didn't want to fall off again like I did, I tried it once before and fell off at the end of it. I didn't want that to happen.
All right, now there was a bit of a change. I thought you were going second. Carrie, you went second. What happened there?
Well, because...
Back to the captain.
Yes, because she went real fast.
Right.
And I went real slow.
And you also didn't make it.
And, well, yes, but I only had 20 seconds when I started, so I was going for the guns. But we switched because she went real fast.
Right. All right, on the back of the seat, Servant, the United States team has just picked up 2 points. Let's get back to the action.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
The final roar from the Serpent. We have to get all 3 British competitors now on the saddle. If we do, we shall take a clear lead in the competition. And our captain sets the example is David Gower. No cover drives or square cuts or tickle to leg. He's on the back of the Serpent, inching his way along and making a very fast time as well. And Joe Bugner is the alien there with a water cannon.
Yes, and he's doing a very good job, although I must admit David's making a pretty good time and he's having fun, he's laughing and everything. A little bit different to Rolf Harris before.
Rolf was grim. It was like climbing the Matterhorn, but here's...
Twice the speed of Gil Gerard, if you notice on this.
No, this is the move. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Don't hit that saddle. And stay on. Good old David Gower. What a superstar. And now it's Toya. Little Toya. Joe
There's
Bugner.
no chance against Joe.
Oh no, it's Bernie Clifton, it's Bernie Clifton. Bernie Clifton. Something's happened because Toya should have gone, but Bernie Clifton has just, I tell you, categorically, has just arrived from Britain on a plane, a 15-hour journey. He arrived in Orlando, dashed down here by taxi, got into his togs. He's had no rest.
And he's about to make another trip over the side.
He's been at the Champagne, but he'll hang on. Bernie Clifton is a very fit man. He does the London Marathon, a great comic. Hang on, Bernie. Come on, Bernie. The crowd is behind you.
I never heard you so excited.
I know, because millions and millions of you can see the British people there in the background waiting for Bernie Clifton. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Come on, Bernie. He will. He will. And if we do, a winkle them with the USA. Wait, hold your breath.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going right in the straight.
No, he's not. We're doing Bernie Clifton, a superstar.
Have a look at the embrace at the end, too, Bill.
Wonderful.
They've known each other.
They should have now, if Toya Wilcox does this one now, we have 3 on. No, it won't. She'll get in. She's great. Wonderful balance. Look at this. Look at the style. Up the Everest. Up K2. Down the other side. Hold on, hold on. Tremendous support here in
general,
Disney
the British team
World.
has been much quicker than everybody else.
Oh, they are super fit, super fit. The Aussies slag us off. Winching bombs and they say a winner! A winner! It's 3 points for Britain. We can celebrate.
Great Britain 3, USA 2, and Australia 1.
It's still nip and tuck going into Game 7 with the U.S. and Australia tied at 13, and Great Britain with a narrow 1-point lead.
Walt Disney created Epcot Center, an experimental prototype community of tomorrow, as a celebration of human ingenuity and achievement. Its centerpiece, Spaceship Earth, is the world's largest geosphere, 180 feet in diameter, rising 18 stories into the Florida sky. It dominates the entrance to future world. Here, there are no bounds.
You can go back in time to the dawn of recorded history, or be propelled on a journey of imagination into another world, where the only restrictions are the boundaries of your own mind. Game 7 is Moonwalk. It's a quest for knockout meteorites. There's 3 heats, and here's Stewart with the call for Great Britain.
Annabelle Croft and Bernie Clifton leaping into the night sky in Epcot Center. And the girls are collecting in the baskets, Jenny Agutter and Judy Geeson. And the girls have to decide in their own minds whether to fill their baskets or run with 1 meteorite, as Jenny's done now, to the spaceship. Because after a certain length of time, the lights on the spaceship will change from red to green. The doors will close, steam will issue forth, and the spaceship hurtles off back to Mother Earth. Bernie has caught one. Throws it off. The one lying there doesn't count, by the way. It's got to be a clean catch. And it's a very, very tough game. It looks easy, but take it from me, it's tough. Another meteorite going in. We have 16 to get all together. How many have we caught? Before that spaceship takes off, there will be a countdown. Annabelle, come on. Come on, Annabelle. Oh, it's so far, so near. Bernie, it's entirely up to him. Now, there we are. A big cheer from the crowd.
Alas, if you like, I can see 2 meteorites lying on the trampolines with 2 left and 2 have lost. And right now, the countdown is about in place. We've got main engines and the spaceship will take off. The doors will close, the steam will exude, and we've lost the meteorite back to the world.
Try to retrieve and return satellites from space.
So it's a total of 11 meteorites for Great Britain. Here's Australia's chance now. They're all set to go and out there doing the job. George Lazenby and Yvonne Corley. They'll send the meteorites across to be collected by Dina Panozzo and Chantal Conturi. Remember, it's a total beat of 11. And Australia off to a pretty good start. George up there to get one. Yvonne's on the way also. And they're shuffling along pretty well here tonight. So Yvonne lining up the next meteorites. They're going pretty well. Another one on its way. Oh, well done, Dina. Another great load of meteorites going on board. Now, we're just down to 2 to go. Who's going to get it? George is on his way. He's got one. It's over into the baskets, and Dina's on her way to load it into that spaceship. 1 to go. Yvonne lining up with it. She gets it, pulls it down, sends it across. It'll be caught, and Chantal's on her way across to the spaceship. Time's looking pretty good also. It's ticking away, but they'll load it in. You can hear the countdown now. All shots, over they go, and this is liftoff. So Australia doing well. They've hit the front. A total up there of 14 points. What can the States do? Here's Bill Rafferty.
There he is, Goofy leading the cheers, and the U.S. is just about ready to take their turn. Well, they've got their work cut out for them because they are going to need a perfect score in order to win. There are only 15 meteorites hanging there and off to an excellent start, as you can see. If you take a look over there on your right, that's Terry Ann Lynn, a tennis pro who's turned Hollywood star. She's figured this game out. There's another one. Sarah Douglas is catching. Now, we pick it up toward the end of the game, and it's up to Terry Ann or Richard Roundtree to get the last one because one has dropped earlier, and they'll need it to tie the Aussies. Okay, Terry Ann, it's up to you. She's got it! Now, if there's just time to get it into that spaceship, there she goes. The countdown has begun, and it's in. And that means that the U.S. has... No, it's fallen out. Oh, no, it's out. That means the USA will have to settle for 13, 1 behind Australia, but still ahead of Great Britain, who got 11. Let's go to Stuart and Curly.
Australia 3.
Australia 3.
USA 2.
USA 2.
And Great Britain 1.
And it's boiling up into a real contest.
Yes, it is.
Let's look at those scores now. Australia leading on 16, the United States 15, Great Britain 15. Back for the final game after the break. The Barbershop Quartet, the Dapper Dans, here at Main Street, USA. And for Americans, this is what it's all about. But that traffic clears as our 3 teams get ready for the deciding final event, and it's sure to be a battle royal.
This is it, Game 8, run up the flag. Our 3 teams are at the starting line, and the race is on. The first team to make it to the end of Main Street and assemble their flag from the giant puzzle pieces wins. Great Britain is in the lead with Lloyd Hunnigan, Bernie Clifton, Toya Wilcox, and Eddie the Eagle Edwards is pushing the cart. For the United States, it's going to be Richard Roundtree on the wheelbarrow, assisted by Fat Boy Damon. Sarah Douglas helping load the flag parts. And down at the other end, it's going to be Gene Anthony Ray to assemble the flag.
All right, coming up in Australia, underneath that hat with the corks around there is Joey Bugner. Helping him out will be Rolf Harris, Chantal Conturi, and Joey Peroni.
Let me tell you what they have to do. 12 pieces of the jigsaw. There are 10 to load onto the barrow with these awful wheels that shove the barrow up and down. And of course, our costume, the Australians have dropped it. Our pearly king is Great Britain. Britain in red, of course. The USA is a cowboy. The Australians are Crocodile Dundee. And here comes Eddie the Eagle in the lead. But it's all about keeping those 10 jigsaw parts on the barrow.
All right, the U.S. has the flag loaded. Gene Anthony Ray and Fat Boy Damon got it loaded up. Here comes Richard Roundtree pushing along. Sarah Douglas in front, right behind the Brits. It's important to us. The Aussies have to lose this for us to win.
Well, never mind. The Australians not doing too well.
They're in all sorts of trouble back there, Stuart. They've lost a few of the pieces there. But, of course, once you get up there, the other...
They're propping up Shaft right at this moment.
He's holding it on with his hat.
Chantal Conturi leading.
Oh, you know, they've always got one way of cheating, haven't they, Australia? Look at Joe Bugner holding it on with his hat. But meanwhile, back at the bottom end, the British file's down. Oh,
the Americans are stuck right in the middle of the street right now, and there go the Aussies.
But the British are there at the bottom end, and they are loading up. Here are the British loading up the Union Jack. And if you're wondering how they do it, each piece of the jigsaw, there are 12, remember, is numbered to correspond with the board on which they have to place the jigsaw. So in other words, it's 1 to 12.
Those 12 pieces have to be... Uh-oh, the U.S. has definitely got a problem here now. This is going to slow them down. Each of those 12 pieces is supposed to be picked up and put back on the card. Once again, that's Gene Anthony Ray, Richard Roundtree, Fat Boy Damon, and Sarah Douglas.
And in the Australian team, just to remind them all, Billy J.
Yep, we've got Joey Bugner in there, Rolf Harris, Chantal Conturi, and also Joey Peroni.
But with good joy here, this is the first time in Main Street, in the Magic Kingdom, that a game has been played like this. It's brand new to the Americans, but we're getting up that Union flag, and it's going up beautifully well.
Now, don't forget it's all for charity. Everybody's donating their services here, but it's all been dumped now. The flag pieces are in front of the podium where they have to be erected, and this is where it all plays out.
So let's have a look at it now. You see exactly how the game is played. They've got to arrange it from 1, 2, 3, 4, right through to 12, and our Union Jack is going up well.
What do we want? 6 we want?
10.
We're well in the lead, and we need the 3 points, because if we get the 3 points, we're 18, and if Australia come bottom, then we have won the competition. It's very exciting. Billy J.
Yeah, it's not too far away. England only a couple of pieces to go. Australia just a couple behind them, but Great Britain are going particularly well at the moment.
The Brits are moving very, very nicely. The only thing the U.S. can hope for right now is...
That looks like our last piece. Our last piece is going into place. We'll be rejoicing. There are thousands and thousands of Brits here in the Magic Kingdom, and they've done it. What a team. Eddie the Eagle, Bernie Clifton, Toya Wilcox,
1,000 is a big number, Stuart. There's several hundred Britons here, but 1,000 is...
1,000, nice. Look at that. That's
I think there are more Americans.
Eddie the Eagle.
However, I think there may be a tie. Keep your eye on what's going on.
Yes, because if the United States pull up to second place, and they get 2 points. Remember now, we have 18 points.
It's a wobbly-looking flag,
It is. It's a wobbly-looking Australian sitting on my left.
He will be tonight, I tell you.
Wait a minute, here come the States. The States may be in second. Here it is.
Now, is that flag?
Is it lost? The United States have got it.
Yeah, they're both up there pretty much close together.
Well,
we'll sort it out anyway.
Curly Neal is down at the bottom end, and there's a great rejoicing. Definitely, we have won something. We'll all go down to the bottom end and join in the junket. What a marvellous, marvellous day here on Main Street in the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World.
As far as I know, we don't have the official standings yet, but it appears that the United States has come in a distant third in this competition, but certainly we were in it to the end. However, there's only one person who can tell us that news, and that's going to be Curly. Curly, what was the story, please?
Well, Curly, the final adjudication, I think we've all lost our voices, but eventually, who won this great race in Main Street?
Well, it was Great Britain, 3 points, USA, 1 point, Australia 2 points. And the totals were USA 16, yes, Great Britain 18, yes, and the Australians 18.
So it's a tie between Australia and Great Britain, but everyone's a winner here on Celebrity Knockout, as all the captains take home these beautiful crystal trophies to be presented here at the end of Main Street.
And to present them, Susan, who is the ambassador for Walt Disney World throughout the world. So without more ado, let us call on the team captain of the USA, Meatloaf. Wonderful, yes, give him the trophy, Susan, give him the trophy. And now for Australia, the mighty man himself, Mr. Joe Bugner. Joe. He almost breaks the stage with his presence, but Joe. Let us welcome on stage Mr. David Gower. Come on! David, congratulations, come on. A final comment. Skullduggery, what's going on?
Well, Stuart, there's been no cheating here for the last 3 days. It's been, I think, fantastic for all of us. I think certainly for me as an Englishman to come across, it's the first time I've come west across the Atlantic and even had a sniff of winning.
Thank you, David. Give him the trophy, Susan.
Well, that's it from Walt Disney World here in Orlando, Florida. We've had a lot of fun putting it all together, some great games, and we'd like to thank our celebrities from all around the world who've joined us for this great time helping out the kids in need. Until we see you again, we'll say a very goodbye from Walt Disney World here in Orlando, Florida.
Never been a touch quite as warm as a child's. No one's gonna love you as much as a little kid.